Everyone's eager. Everyone's eager. Ever since Polkadot Decoded was on, everyone's talking about the parachain auctions within the Polkadot community, of course. People outside of the community are talking about Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, other sort of meme tokens, etc. But we're focused on the Polkadot ecosystem. And if you're as bullish as I am on this ecosystem, then you're probably also eagerly waiting for these parachain auctions to finally launch so you can take part and witness something unique, something that you have not taken part of before. Totally different from ICOs, totally different from token sales. I've actually tried to take part in the centrifuge token sale today, and there were like 90,000 people ahead of me in the queue. Some people from my community managed to win, so congratulations to them. I think 2 people managed to participate in option 1, to make it in the queue and then to participate. And then there's option 2 as well. Apparently you could have registered for both options. I didn't know that. I discovered recently that you could have registered for both options. I've only registered for the one, but they're all closed now anyway, so it's too late. But it is what it is, right? It's not the end of the world. It would have been a $500 contribution to buy centrifuge at 55 cents, I think, or 56 cents. So yeah, but anyway, to continue on with today's video, I've got some interesting stuff to cover with regards to the Kusama Parachain projects, which are going to take part in the parachain auctions, of course, with the crowd loans and so on. And we've got a list of all the different names, so that's awesome. Great job from PolkaProject for posting that, and I'm going to talk about that. But just with regards to this tweet here, I'm going to go through a few of the tweets just to kind of look at what the sentiment is like now ahead of the parachain auctions, and what our project's actually doing. So I actually watched this interview, it was in Spanish, from Parity Technologies, with some employees from Parity Technologies, which are basically discussing the parachain auctions, how they're going to work. They're actually promoting Karura in this specific crowdcast, so this surprised me. It just shows you that Karura and Acala are gonna be the beasts of the Polkadot ecosystem when it comes to the parachains. There's no doubt in my mind that they're gonna win it. They're getting so much marketing, so much exposure, that it's amazing, right? And they are part of the foundation as well. You got to remember that. So they're holding a ton of DOT, a ton of KSM. So I do think they're also going to help in some way, right, to get that Karura to bond, and then Acala to bond later on when the Polkadot parachains start. But I think that the community, they don't even need to, right? I think that the community is strong enough to help them bond straight away on the first one, and then we're gonna see the battle between the rest of them. But yeah, it's just like trying to fight with the king, right? The king of Polkadot, the king of Polkadot Eco, and the king of Kusama Eco. So we've got Karura and Acala. Then of course we've got other great projects which we're going to talk about when we look at the list of all the ones taking part on Kusama. But yeah, so yeah, I watched this interview, but it was a talk more or less, and they were explaining how the parachain auctions work, but nothing on the dates. It still all depends on how the technical progress goes. And we know that we've got Shell connected now as a parachain. So now that Shell is connected, there are blocks being generated as like a test parachain within Kusama, which is already a Canary network, a Canary ecosystem. And once the team are comfortable with the number of blocks that are being generated and how things are working from a technical point of view, if there are any kind of bugs or anything that they could see, and then maybe delay the potential crowd sale. But if they aren't, and if everything goes okay, then I think we're good to go very, very soon. I'm expecting it to happen in less than 2 weeks, to be honest. It could even be next week by the way things are going. So yeah, we didn't get any dates, anything like that from here, but they basically just reiterated what I've just said with the Shell parachain. Next, let's look at Moonbeam. So actually 1 year ago today, the Polkadot Genesis block was created. So that's the first block on the Polkadot blockchain. So yeah, awesome. So as you can see here, Moonbeam Network are saying happy anniversary to Polkadot. They're obviously happy, right? And yeah, and the Moonbeam are obviously spreading the word about their project. They were actually talking to Polkadot Decoded. They had a good speech discussing how Moonbeam is going to work with smart contracts from Ethereum to help those Ethereum smart contracts port over to the Polkadot ecosystem, and how they're going to support them. They're even going to fund projects or developers, small development teams, to develop on Moonbeam. So I think Moonbeam is one of those beasts, right? Second to Karura, second to Acala. I don't think they're on par with them, but they are very close. They are very close. So I do think that's what I was saying before, and I do think that I'm going to be right. If there was like a way to bet for this using the blockchain technology, I probably would bet to say that Karura are going to win the first one, Moon River are likely going to win the second one when it comes to these crowd sales, to these parachain auctions. So aside from that, they were holding, I think they had an AMA recently, this AMA here with Razor Network, which is an Oracle solution that's going to develop on various networks, Elrond being one of them, which is a giant ecosystem now, and Moonbeam as well. So hence why they've got this AMA to kind of discuss the integration, and they're going to be one of the oracles, by the way, one of the Oracle solutions that are going to help Moonbeam. We're going to have Chainlink as well also supporting. So there's going to be multiple Oracle solutions within the Polkadot and Karura ecosystem, which are going to be supporting all these different parachains. And yeah, Razor is one of them, which is going to support Moonbeam. So this is just maybe like a way to cross promote. As you can see, they're doing a giveaway and so on. So yeah, this is due tomorrow actually, this AMA. And Razor has been doing horribly bad just because they've had those token unlocks, and this is why I'm a bit sad with the tokenomics for Razor. Even if the project has potential, I'm let down with the tokenomics because the private sale cost per token was like 1.5 cents, as I've covered it in that dedicated review. So when those private sale investors are getting their unlocks, they're gonna dump on the market. There's no doubt about that in my mind. If you were 10x, 20x up, would you not do the same? I mean, come on, it's common sense, right? So yeah, I'm a bit let down with the tokenomics, with the structure in that sense. But I think once the majority is released into the market, and now I think we've pretty much hit the bottom. We went to like 11 cents, 12 cents. So even then now, we're still up quite significantly for those private sale investors to sell. But I think that once we hit that bottom, then I think that Razor does have good potential. But I just find it a bit overpriced for the situation that it's in now. Without any integration whatsoever right now, right? They're just developing, but there isn't any official integration because they need to wait for Moonbeam. I don't know if they've done anything with Elrond yet. I don't think they have. So yeah, it's just a pipe dream right now, unfortunately. But hopefully we will see some integration coming soon as things develop. So we got to give them time, right? And next, let's talk about Acala. So like I said, the beast. I was actually watching this clip here where Dan Reeser's talking about how Karura is going to work. The crowdland registrations, you should register if you want to take part. You've got like 7 days apparently. I have also registered. You're basically going to get a notification if you register. So yeah, basically just do that. And once you register, then you just need to wait for the announcement, right? And then you can participate with your KSM. Other than that, yeah, I mean they've had a few discussions on the Acala Network channel. If you check that out on YouTube, they've got over 7,000 subscribers. So they're conducting all these not AMAs, I would say, yeah, kind of like an AMA, because they get like community questions and they answer them about the parachains, about what Karura is trying to achieve, about what Acala is trying to achieve. So do check those out. I already know everything about that, and probably most of you that are watching this channel already know because I've covered it multiple times. There are some new things that they've discussed as well with regards to the liquidity, how things are going to work with the liquidity on Karura and so on. But I'm definitely going to be doing a tutorial once they launch on mainnet to play around with that, right, and see how things work. And finally, to close this video off, I want to talk about the Polkadot ecosystem projects. And of course, we've got the full list here, and this is awesome, right? And what I really like about this design is that they're showing you what the parent network is on Polkadot and what the Canary network is on Kusama. So this basically ends all kind of doubts, any kind of suspicion that you may have had, like as to what are they actually related to, right? These Canary networks, to which project on Polkadot Eco. So here we can even see the tokenomics, which is awesome. Well, not the full tokenomics, but at least a general idea. So yeah, we've got Acala, which is the king, with Karura as the Canary network, which you already know. Got the KOR token, 100 million total supply. Now for Acala, it is 1 billion because they have denominated or redenominated to 1 billion to match with Polkadot. 11% is going to be part of the crowd loan, and you're guaranteed to get 12 KAR at the very least, right? And then of course it could be more, but I think that with the demand they're gonna have, I think that you're only gonna get 12, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I definitely think they're gonna be the first to bond. Now for Clover, we've got Sakura here, which we've already mentioned before. The SKU token, 1 billion total supply, 20% is allocated to the crowd loan, with 200, at least 200 SKU tokens allocated for each 1 KSM that you contribute. Acala from Acala Network, KPHA is going to be the ticker symbol, 1 billion, so exactly the same as Acala Network. We don't know the percentage. However, we're going to get 100 K Acala for each 1 KSM. Now for Sherpa X, 21 million, which is the Canary network of Chainx. You well know that by now because I've been covering this quite a lot of times on this channel. 21 million total supply. With an inflation, by the way, it does have an annual inflation of 10%, so 2.1 million is going to go into circulation every year, but this is what the current total supply is going to be at launch. I think some of these are going to have inflations too. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe Acala is not going to have it, maybe Sakura not, but I think some of these other ones may have inflations, at least Centrifuge for sure. We'll get to that anyway. 40% is going to be allocated to the token sale, and 10 KSX at the very least. For each 1 KSM, which I don't really agree with this, to be honest. I did say that it's a bit overpriced, just because I don't know if, I mean, yeah, okay, I get it, it's 21 million, right? And Karura is 100 million, but Karura are definitely going to get listed on Binance, right? I'm like 99.99% sure, in the very, very odd scenario that they're not, right? I'm very, very close to being 100% sure that Karura are going to get listed on Binance, whereas with Sherpa X, I doubt it. At least not at the beginning. Maybe in the future, but not at the beginning. So yeah, I just think that this price may be a bit high, even though it is 21 million. It is like a fifth, almost a fifth. But yeah, I mean, I think that this is a bit high, to be honest. 10 plus KSX, maybe they should have given a bit more, but maybe it's also to do with the fact that everyone holding PCX is going to get the airdrop, right? So yeah. Next, let's talk about Moonbeam and Moon River, which is the Canary network. So MOVOR is going to be the name of the token, which is interesting because I could have swore it was called River, and it looks like they've renamed it to MOVOR. 10 million total supply, so very happy with this because, as you know, on this channel we love low supply tokens, and Moon River makes it in that category, right? 30% is going to be allocated and then paid as a percentage of your contribution to the pool. So this one's going to get divided, okay? So 3 million is going to get divided based on your contribution. So that's how it's basically going to work. So it all depends on how much you contribute. The more people contribute, the less MOVOR tokens you're going to get. It's as simple as that, because they've only got 3 million to give, right? But because of this super low supply, you're going to see like a humongous price growth for sure. And I think that Moonbeam and Moon River are going to get listed on Binance as well, because they've got support from Binance. Binance actually invested in them. So if Binance invested, you can be 100% certain that they're going to list Moon River or MOVOR with the token. Next, Plasm and Shiden Network, which is my favorite name here. SDN is the ticker symbol. 45 million is the total supply. 22% is the allocation. We don't know what the rewards are going to be. So I'm assuming they're thinking, and it's just my assumption, I'm thinking that maybe they're looking at doing something similar to Moon River, and that's why they don't know yet, maybe. Bifrost, with the same name, Bifrost, so they didn't want to be inventive and come up with a new name. Come on, Bifrost, come on, why? Why couldn't you, right? Even Crust have done it. So yeah, BNC is the ticker symbol, 80 million total supply, not applicable, we don't know what the percentage is, but 10 plus, so at the very least 10 BNC is going to be allocated to each for each 1 KSM contributed. And then we've got Crust with Cross Shadow. CSM is going to be the ticker symbol, 200 million total supply, so it is larger than Crust, because Crust is, I believe, is 20 million, and 20% is the allocated percentage for the crowd sale. 1.5 CRU plus 300 CSM. Wow, so it's interesting. So you're actually going to get Crust tokens for contributing and for helping Cross Shadow to bond. So that's interesting. I really like the fact that they've come up with this strategy. I'm surprised Chainx didn't do something similar. So fair play to Crust for coming up with this strategy. I think they're going to have a good chance. Maybe in the 4th or 5th auction, I think they're going to have a chance to bond just because of this. And that's probably going to drive the price of Crust up as well, because Crust is doing quite okay, right? Centrifuge with Canary Network Altair, which we've spoken about recently on this channel when I've done a review of Centrifuge. So AIR is the ticker symbol, 425 million. We don't know the percentage yet, but 50 plus AIR is going to be attributed to each one KSM that has been contributed. And one other thing to keep in mind is for each AIR you hold, you're also going to, or sorry, for each CFG you hold, which is Centrifuge, you're going to get 1 AIR. So they're following a similar model to Chainx and SherpaX. They're going to airdrop Centrifuge holders, which have made it in the token sale today, right? And also ones that have generated CFG from running the validator nodes, because you could have done that if you had the specs. You could have generated CFG, or if you're part of some pools that I've discussed in that review video, then you're gonna get AIR tokens for free, right? I think you're gonna get them when they bond, because that's the idea. And then we've got Equilibrium with Genshiro, I think it's pronounced, or Genshiro. Gens is the tokens, the ticker symbol. 1.2 billion is the total supply, so quite high. 20% is allocated, and we don't know what the rewards are. So I do think that the ones that are NA are likely going to be paid as a percentage of your contribution to the pool, similar to Moonriver and Darwinia, which I'll talk about as well. Then we've got Robonomics, which again are not inventive, still the same name, Robonomics. XRT is the token, 10 million is the total supply, 1 XRT for each 1 KSM. Wow, this is the first one I see, 1-to-1 ratio. And then we've got Darwinia with Darwinia Crab Searing. 2 billion is the total supply. 12% is going to be allocated to the pool, and they're paid as a percentage of your contribution to the pool. So we can see that 12% is going to be basically divided by all the contributors for KSM. So basically, if you've got, like, say 100 KSM contributed, you're obviously going to get a share of that 12% from here. So that's how it works, exactly the same as these. So yeah, this is pretty much it. There isn't anything else to cover here. I just wanted to cover this because I did find this interesting. So fair play to PolkaProject, shout out to them for doing this, creating this table, which makes everything much more clearer. And we're likely going to see other projects, of course, in the future, because a lot of projects are going to want to become parachains. But this is what we've got at the moment. This is what is going to take place. 5 of these are going to make it. Which 5 are going to make it? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to get your thoughts. Thank you for watching today's video. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.